Good afternoon and welcome into another edition of the Coach's Corner Show presented by PES and Martin Methodist College. We're coming to you live from Sam Davis Park here in Pulaski, Tennessee for the Week 3 edition of the Coach's Corner Show. We're here with Giles County head football coach Walt Smith. I'm Wade Neely. Coach, let's dive in. Giles County falls in a heartbreaker last week, 28-27 to arch rival Lawrence County. It was the Cats' first region contest. How bitter was that pill to swallow? The Cats fall right here at Sam Davis Park.
It was a tough one. It was one of the toughest I've had actually as a coach. I just felt like we had several opportunities to win the football game, and eventually we're going to have to turn the corner and make some of those plays and get us in the right situations to win some of these games. But especially being the second one with 1 point with a special teams play at the end of the game that didn't go our way. It was tough.
Coach, we sat here last week. We talked about the improvement we saw in the loss, even though it was a loss to Shelbyville. Cats seemed to get better from week 1 to week 2. What happened between week 2 and 3 in your mind?
Defensively, I didn't know if we read our keys as good this week. And with that wing T offense, it's sometimes if you don't trust your keys and stay with them, that it can be tricky. But offensively, I felt like we actually did take a step as far as X's and O's and execution. We just penalties killed us. We had 3 drives that were stopped by personal fouls or holding penalties, and we just got to do a better job of staying focused and being more disciplined. And that falls back on me. I've got to do a better job getting the right guys in there, or getting the guys that are in there more focused to not commit those.
It seems like that was kind of the theme of the game. The Cats missed opportunities with 4 turnovers. The Cats only put points on the board on a couple of those drives, but then also special teams seemed like it was another big talking point in the local press this week. Give us some more insight on those 2 areas. The Cats are still trying to find their way, both in terms of discipline and in terms of special teams.
Well, special teams, we're having to play some younger guys because of our depth problems, and our younger guys are just going to have to grow up quick. It was they didn't have a really good easy road to grow up there, but they're just going to have to grow up quick, and we got to start making some better tackles. And we directional kicked it last week and thought that was going to help us, and I think it did a little bit, but then the other areas of the special teams kind of broke down. Our snaps weren't great Friday night, and we just got to do a better job of staying more focused on all teams and all aspects. We talk about it being a 3-phase game, and if you don't win all 3 phases, it could really hurt you.
The Cats, we focused a little bit on the negatives, but there were some positives for the Cats. Let's start with the offense. It seems like Peyton Hall had a fantastic game, and when you talk about the stat sheet, Jordan Tucker close to 200 rushing yards again. Kind of walk us through, in your mind at least, the offensive positives from a week ago.
Jordan run the football on the offensive line. I felt like just basically owned the game. Second half, we were able to move the ball at will. Again, penalties just killed us. When you start out 1st and 25 on a lot of drives, it really hurts. We were in several 2nd and 23s and 24s, things like that. But Jordan offensive line absolutely were unbelievable. And Peyton, I thought this was kind of his coming out game this week with 2 touchdowns. Did a great job blocking and catching some key passes along with Tanner.
Elias Whitsitt, the quarterback, what did you see out of your senior, even though he's still making his first couple of starts here?
I thought he, again, he's continuing to progress. I thought Gray come in. Elias got banged up a little bit, and Gray come in, gave us several good snaps there in a row on one of the scoring drives. But they're both getting better. We're going to continue to play both of them a little bit. Elias has just got to keep getting better. And again, last week he had rushing touchdown, 2 passing touchdowns, so it's hard to fuss about that. But making sure we capitalize on everything they're giving us, that's one thing we've got to improve on a little bit.
Defensively, the Cats got Boone Gibson back in the lineup. Gave up 28 points, but what did you like from your defense last week?
Well, Boone, I think he led us in tackles. I think he had 13 tackles Friday night, so it was definitely good to have him back. Again, we just it goes back, discipline and focus were the things. That wing T offense, it's going to trick you, and they did a good job of that Friday night, getting us in situations and having us over pursue and hitting us on the little double handoff play they did. Really hurt us on 3rd downs, not being able to get off the field. And hats off to them. They had a great game plan and called a good game, and their kids executed. It
was a loss for the Cats. Means it was the first loss in the rivalry for these seniors and for anybody on the roster. Really, the Cats had won 4 straight. What did you say to your team in those moments kind of after the ball game?
Again, it's nobody's going to feel sorry for us. It's terrible being 0-3, but we just got to go back to doing what we do and getting better and trying to cut out some of the mistakes. In a rivalry game, I think the research, nobody's ever won 5 in a row, and this would have been 5 in a row for us this year, and nobody's ever done that in the history of the rivalry, so that kind of tells about the rivalry. But this is one we definitely thought we should have got, and just didn't get it done.
Didn't get it done this week, but a tough non-region game coming up. Do you like that format where you go from a tough, hard-fought region game to having to bounce back in a non-region format this week?
It's really, we're looking at all right now with the way we're playing. We've got to get one in the win column, whether it be a region game or not region game. Just for our confidence and just to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit, we need to get in the W column, and hopefully can do that this week against Lincoln County.
Speaking of Lincoln County, it'll be right here at Sam Davis Park this Friday. We'll have more on the Falcons when we come back on the other side of this. It's the Coach's Corner Show presented by PES and Martin Methodist College.
Hi, I'm David Alford from the TV show Nashville, and I'm here to tell you about my college. Since 1870, Martin Methodist has paved the path to success for thousands of graduates. Just an hour south of Nashville, you'll find an affordable private college participating in the Tennessee Promise with an educational program designed for you to graduate in 4 years. Come visit us and experience the difference. Experience an education that's personal.
Heads up, Red Hawk fans. This week, your Martin Methodist College volleyball team makes its 2015 season debut with a couple of matches at the Curry Christian Life Center. On Friday, the Red Hawks will make their home debut when they take on Bruton Parker College in the Southern States Athletic Conference. First serve is set for 7 p.m. The Red Hawks will also be back in action on Saturday afternoon when they take on NAIA number 14 College of Coastal Georgia. The action will get underway at 2 p.m. Once again, both matches at the Curry Christian Life Center this weekend as your 2015 Red Hawk volleyball team makes its home debut in Pulaski. Welcome back, folks. We're here at Sam Davis Park. This is the second half of the Coach's Corner Show presented by PES and Martin Methodist College. Wade Neely here, Bobcats head football coach Walt Smith there. Coach, Cats bounce back out of the Region 4-4A play this week. Got a pretty tough team, though, on the docket in Lincoln County, a team that Giles has had some familiarity with over the years. How do the 2015 Falcons shape up heading into Friday night?
Well, they're really big and strong, very physical football team, maybe the most physical football team we've played this year to this point on film anyway, the way it looks. Quarterback's really good, got a good running back, and just pretty sound on defense. Again, kind of a rivalry game also with them being so close and us having to have played for a long time, so it'll definitely be a tough game.
Yeah, it's not a region game, but in many ways it does feel like one of those region contests with the number of appearances they've made on each other's fields over the last couple of years. Eli Eason, the quarterback you mentioned for Lincoln County, he's had a pretty solid start, completing over 50% of his passes, already got over 3 touchdowns. What sort of matchups will he present out here at the Brickyard Friday?
Well, just he's a big, strong kid, about 6'3", weighs about 200 pounds, really strong arm, runs it a little bit when he needs to, and is very effective with that. And but relies on his arm and throws it real well.
August Hill is their talented senior running back, so they've kind of like Shelbyville had a pretty solid 1-2 punch. How will the Cats try maybe combat that defensively Friday?
He's the running back Hill kid is a little bit different than the backs we faced so far this year. He's more of a downhill runner. He's going to run hard. Still got some good speed, but he's not going to be the slasher that we've faced the last couple of weeks. He's going to get downhill and get behind his pads a little bit, and then they've got a fullback they bring in and really pound it too. So it's going to be a little bit different challenge, but again, just more of the same. They're going to be a spread offense, but they're going to try to run the football and throw it and be balanced. And then on defense, like I said, they'll be very sound.
The last time the Cats faced a spread offense, the defensive line and the linebacking unit for Giles County had some success against Shelbyville. What's going to be the key for those guys to replicate that?
Just continue to get after them. Again, we've got to get Friday night. Been going after, I talked about getting 11 guys to the football. I felt like Friday night sometimes we over-pursued and didn't trust our keys. And so we've definitely everybody got to stay at home, trust their keys, trust what the offense is telling them, what their keys tell them, and then just go make plays. You mentioned Lincoln County, a physical bunch. Do you challenge your team any more, any less when you know you're going to face a tough opponent like this? Well, I think they're challenged to the max right now. Again, we've got to get on the W column, and they know that, and it's just there's a sense of urgency for sure. A lot of talk about Lincoln County's O. Let's flip it around. Let's talk about their D versus the Bobcats offense. A 4-4 defense, it sounds like, for the Falcons and head coach Don Thomas. Yeah, big up front. Got a big defensive tackle. Reminds me of the kid from Columbia that we played. pretty good linebacking core, and their secondaries seems to cover pretty well also. Independence last week, they throw the ball a lot, and they held them in check for a lot of the game, but so we'll definitely have our work cut out for us, but we feel like we can got some things that can hurt them at times, and hopefully we can execute those.
The 27 points the Cats put up last Friday, that was a season high. Maybe some signs of encouragement offensively going into this contest?
Yeah, again, I felt like we moved the ball great Friday night. We just got to cut down on those penalties, those drive-stopping penalties. It's tough though when you're predominantly a ground team like we've been, even though we've thrown the ball a little bit better, but when you're predominantly a ground team, it's hard to overcome second and more than 10 and third and 10, third and long. It's tough to overcome those, and we've got to do a better job of not putting ourselves in those situations.
We talked about Jordan Tucker, Cliff Gardner, two really hard runners for the Bobcats. How difficult is it, or how easy is it to just look at the play sheet and say, let's just run those guys as hard as we can?
It is. Jordan does a great job. Cliff did a great job. I think he's averaging about 7 yards a carry also right now. And Arkell, we've got Arkell back there who's honestly could start for a whole bunch of teams we play, but it's a crowded backfield, and that's a good plan. It's a good problem to have, especially with the O-line we've got that are moving people, and we just got to continue to do that and continue to grind on people, and eventually good things are going to happen.
When the Cats do throw the ball, Peyton Hall, how critical is it going to be to see his development as that number 2 wideout?
It's huge. It keeps people from focusing in on Tanner. Friday night I felt like they were sitting on his screens. We were still able to complete a few to him, but they were kind of sitting on Tanner a little bit, and Peyton took advantage of that and made some plays for us.
From a scheme standpoint, how does the secondary of Lincoln County look?
They're going to be basically cover 3. Every once in a while they'll jump into a cover 2, cover 4 look that in long yardage situations they'll take one of their linebackers and walk them back to a safety, but they're one of those that they're going to try to keep everything in front, and hopefully you make mistakes and not give up the big play. Head
coach Don Thomas, he's a veteran in this game. How does that coaching chess match develop into Friday night?
Coach Thomas he's a great coach. Again, it's everybody we play. It seems like there's quality coaches everywhere we go, and Coach Thomas is no different. He's been around, been in all the wars, and we just again, it is a chess match on Friday nights, and usually it ends up whose chess pieces execute the best.
Third phase of the game, final piece of our preview here, if you will. Special teams. Cats have been Heckle and Jekyll, if you will, all season long. What consistency issues can we get the Cats maybe resolved by this Friday night?
Well, Griffin got hurt early in the game Friday night, and I thought Jed did a great job coming in. Got off a really good punt, his first punt, and was definitely solid for us the rest of the game in the kicking game. We just, again, it goes back to the same thing. We've got a few mistakes here and there that's just at critical times in the games right now that we've got to eliminate to get us on the W column.
Griffin's dinged up a little bit. Give us an idea just overall the health of the team heading into Friday.
Overall, we're pretty healthy. I mean, we've got some bumps and bruises just like everybody does during the middle of the year here, with the grind starting. So, but overall, we're pretty healthy other than Griffin. I'm not sure if he's going to kick yet or not Friday night. If not, Jed will be ready to go there. And just, again, everybody else just nursing little things.
It's a non-region game, but you're back here again at Sam Davis Park on Friday. How critical is the crowd to be involved here?
Huge. I thought we had a great crowd Friday night. Again, it was an exciting ball game to watch. We didn't come out on the end that we wanted, but need those fans back. It was huge. We kind of made a little comeback there in the second half, and feeling the energy from the crowd was big Friday night, and we're going to need that again Friday.
Biggest key to victory Friday will get you out.
We got to execute a little better on offense, take what they're giving us, don't miss the opportunities that they're giving us on offense, and defensively we just got to trust our keys better.
Good deal, Coach. We look forward to checking you out on Friday. Hopefully the Cats get their first win against Lincoln County. It'll be a great one in front of these hometown fans here this evening.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Giles County head football coach Walt Smith. That's about all the time we've got for this week's edition of the Coach's Corner Show. Remember, we're brought to you by Martin Methodist College and PES. So long from Sam Davis Park. Remember, the Bobcats and the Falcons this Friday here at the Brickyard. For Bobcats head coach Walt Smith, Wade Neely signing out on the Coach's Corner Show.